This is part of the show where you ask your burning questions to our leading experts. Now, I'm very fortunate to have here Mandy Luckman from Irwin Mitchell Solicitors. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, you've written an article in the Ultimate Beauty Guide giving consumers real advice about how to find their practitioner, because there are a lot of cowboys out there, aren't there? So it must be really important to find the right practitioner to get the right results. Is that right? It's
absolutely essential. There are some great practitioners out there providing really good services for patients, but unfortunately there's some very bad practice out there too. So we want to give advice to patients to ensure they know how to do their research properly before they decide whether to pursue a treatment option.
So what happens is, if people come to you at the point where there is no other solution, they've tried going back to their practitioner, if something does go wrong, they try and, was that right? You would advise them to try and deal with it with the doctor, and then they would come back to you and you would represent them if there was any further issues that needed to be sorted out?
Absolutely. What we do is always speak to a patient to determine what's happened to them and what they want to do to try and put things right. In many cases, we would advise them to go back to their practitioner initially, and the good practitioners do their very best to try and put things right for their patients. Unfortunately, there will be occasions where a patient has sustained quite a severe injury during the course of their treatment. For example, that may have impacted adversely on their ability to work, so they're suffering loss of earnings as a consequence of that. If that situation does arise, then we as legal experts can pursue their legal remedy for them and try and put them back in a position on a financial basis that they would have been in but for the substandard care.
So do you see, has there been a real change over the last few years where you are seeing more problems? There seems to be a lot more cosmetic clinics and practitioners doing these injectable products. Are you seeing more problems?
Unfortunately, we are, and we only see the tip of the iceberg. The industry is huge and it's expanded very, very quickly. It's the sort of thing that people now consider as part of their everyday lifestyle, and they're absolutely entitled to do that. So although there are some great practitioners there, unfortunately there have been a number of new entrants into the marketplace that have rather unscrupulous methods, and consequently more and more patients have been sustaining quite nasty injuries.
So it's good, obviously you encourage consumers to take advice from their GP through recommendations of particular cosmetic doctors they should seek. Is that right? Is that one of the first steps?
Absolutely. So to do their research is very, very important. There are a large number of independent sources of information that patients can access, including their GP, organisations such as BARPS or the BACN. It can be quite difficult, I think, to trace all independent sources of information, but they're the starting points. Okay. There's also the Department of Health-backed register of cosmetic practitioners that they can access as well if they wish to.
Great. Okay. I've just got one quick question here from Jack Fellows from Chawton. He said, has the government regulated the industry now? And I think by saying there's an independent health, but is that government regulated, or is it just an advice bureau where people can ask questions?
The register of cosmetic practitioners it's a voluntary register, so it's not compulsory for all practitioners to register on there. And I think it's very important to say that although cosmetic surgery is subject to regulation, cosmetic injectables are not subject to statutory regulation, and anybody can do them.
Great, Mandy, thank you so much for all that information. So if you are considering a treatment, obviously Mandy has said it's really important to do your research and have a proper consultation with a practitioner. And look, if you want to find out any more information, go onto myfacemybody.com and Mandy can answer any questions, and obviously pick up a free copy of the Beauty Guide, which you can download for free on the website.